Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Well, we have a few more seconds and then it'll pop on over. Yay, Grand Rising, Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Oh. Yeah, turn my, there I am. Hi.
Good morning.
Well, my goodness. It is a good grand morning. It's been grand all week. So grand, I just want to welcome everybody to Grand Rising Elizabeth, and our lead host is Mama Ayaba. So I'm going to let you take over. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
As I was saying, blessed love to everyone, and may your entire day continue to be a grand rising. Maybe just go up, 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 up from where we are right now. First of all, I would like to give thanks to Queen Mother Aduni for making this possible for us, and I'll get right to it. Why am I here today? I'm here today because I would like to share with you some methods to use to make ourselves holistic for real, for real. I was thinking when I got up this morning, well, our process, I'm waiting for our sister Hawa, Asase, Aster might be late coming because she found out yesterday that they wanted her to come into the office today.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the US government. So I was thinking this morning about when I was a little girl. Today, by the way, is my mother's birthday, Elizabeth.
Oh my, happy birthday, Mother.
And I remember getting on the bus, riding the bus, and people were just talking. Good morning, Miss So-and-so. How you doing? Hey, Miss Reed. Hey, Miss this. Hey, Miss that, Mr. this, Mr. the other. And you could hear this buzz of conversation all on your bus ride. When they got off, okay, see you later. Hope you have a good day. And then when integration came, this is what the bus sounded like.
Uh-huh.
So I thought about that, which took me to the point about culture. What is culture? I wrote some things down that I want to share with you about culture. Before I even get started on that part, because what we're doing here is culture. I'm going to share this with you. Can everyone see it? Oops, it broke up.
Mama Ayaba?
I see it's broke up. Oh, yeah.
Greetings.
Right.
I am here.
Grandma,
I am here.
How are you? I'm right here. How are you? How are you?
I am here. I am present.
Present. That's what it's all about, being present. Because when you are present, you are the present.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
My grandson, he loves puns. So I threw a pun out there. Oh, look what you have. Look what I have. I don't know. I may have to get rid of this background because it's breaking up what I'm
Yeah,
trying
you
to
go in and out. If you move and you know you can't be still, you are a mover and a shaker.
You always amaze me how much you know about me because you are right on point, sister. Now, let me see. Anyway, I have a cup that was given to me by this very, very nice born in August young man. I'm August the 2nd, he's August the 1st. But it says, good morning, beautiful. Let me find the camera. I'm working it. Give me a minute. This is like junior primary for me. I can't do it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Good morning, beautiful.
And so we want to share with you what we're drinking, but first I was going to share with you this. It's a book
And
I read.
see my cup?
Ooh, oh, that's you, Hawa.
You know who made it.
You made this one you made?
You sure did.
All right.
Yeah.
Share with people what you do with your art, sister. Wow, since you brought one you made.
Well, I make functional pieces for your altar, pieces for your kitchen, and planters. I've been doing it for 30 years. My son is 34. I've been doing it for 34 years. That's when I started.
Okay, you may have to move it back a little bit so we can see it. I don't know what's going to be. Do it a little bit more that way.
I don't know. But
That's
this is
all
just
right.
one of them. I have many more.
There it is. Come back
right here?
a little bit. Come back.
Back?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. That's one of your million pieces. Is that one of your pieces behind your head too?
Oh, yes. Yes. That was a community project that I took over and tweaked and finished it up.
Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Have you ever tried to do anything on cloth?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to share some more of your stuff, some more of your creativity.
Just one of many gifts that was given to me that I must utilize.
And
good morning to those that's coming in. Good morning. Peace and love. All right.
Okay. What I created years ago in Indianapolis, Indiana, where I was so privileged and honored to meet Mama Hawa, and I had something called Tea with Ayaba. It was at the public library, and another one we had was at my apartment, right?
Right.
Hawa? Okay, so it's called Tea with Ayaba, and I have one here. I keep disappearing. Y'all bear with me now because
it's the background. Your background takes over.
How do I get rid of the background?
Go
to what? Huh?
Let me see here. Where was that at?
Tell you the truth, the reason I got it because it was by accident. I don't even know how I got it.
Okay, let me see. Where is that at? Pam, where is that at? I can't hear you, honey.
Is it under?
Go to see where start video is.
Where what? Oh,
start video. Down at the bottom left, there's an arrow that goes up.
Yes, I got it. Okay, hit the video and go to
videos. Go to choose virtual background.
And
then there's a list that'll come up.
None.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we learning.
Okay. None. Oh, I don't want that though. Let me see.
That's all right.
I want to be there.
Oh,
okay.
It's still there.
Wait a minute. Okay,
well,
that might be it. Hold on. Okay, go back down there and click on setting. Click on the video settings.
All right.
And let's see.
Sheila, I see you have your Queen Aduni. I see your teacup too. There you go. Start your day with that cleansing tea.
we're gonna get some cups with Grand Rising.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, Grand Rising, Elizabeth.
Hey, that's an idea. Don't give me an idea now.
I know, don't get you started.
I know.
Okay, but we want to get us all started. So we're okay. All this good energy and stuff and ideas.
And this is what we're doing. We're basically letting our hair down and having a conversation.
Right.
And it's many things and many topics to talk about to add to our journey here.
Yeah.
For each and every one I'm a sifter. If I find something I like, I collect it. And everything else, I left it like a sifter. I let it sift on through.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, we'll have it together by next week.
Yeah, do you have a cross on your video?
Yeah,
You hit that so
okay.
yeah, you still have that background up.
Well, at least oops.
All
Well,
right, we'll ride with this. You just have to put it right in front of your, I mean,
my
we see your
face.
cup, but
Yeah, I see
if
your
you
cup.
have documents, that's kind of hard to see with
Um,
that background.
Mama Yaba, if you
Yeah,
take that cup and put it dead in front of you, then we can see.
dead in front of
Yeah,
me.
yeah, then we can, that's not dead in front of you. Center. There you go. There you go.
Not the,
Now we can
not-
see, okay? So I guess whatever you have to do, you just put it right in front of you
Yep.
Okay, like this.
because oh, well, never mind.
Not-
That's
Anyway, don't worry about that. It's called
Okay.
Tea with Ayaba, and it says thoughts are alive with power. Thoughts are living energy beings. Thoughts await your will to act. So this morning, we're thinking about drinking tea, but we're going to also share with you what type of tea we're drinking and what purpose it serves. Hawa, would you like to start with yours?
Oh, yes. I am drinking, and this time of season, the rebirth of spring, I'm drinking dandelion root tea. You can use the flower. That's one of the things about dandelion is when you look out on your lawn, majority of the people think that a weed. Got to get rid of that weed. But it has such medicinal powers and property to it. It's the common use is like a detox, bloating. It helps the liver function, manage the weight, and this little happy green, yellow and green tea, it helped restore the organs and cleanse the uh, the blood. Yeah, the liver. That's the main thing. It cleansed the liver because the liver is the main factory that everything comes through the liver to be accepted, and those are things that are not accepted is just stored to another spot. And dandelion root tea help cleanse all that out. So that's my tea for the morning.
Well, thank you so very much. And I'm drinking a typical East Indian tea of turmeric and milk,
Turmeric.
ginger and honey crystals. And of course, as she was saying about blood cleansers, turmeric also is a blood cleanser. It's a health healing agent for any part of your body. And also I have a Chinese tea in there that's for high blood pressure that I drink every morning. And it works. I take Chinese tea in the form of tea and in the form of herbal tablets for various things. I long ago walked away from the American system of so-called treatments because I can't say it's healing. What got me on this path was my mother, who had had surgery for tumors, and she was in such horrific pain. I said, I never want to go through that, ever, never. And when I asked the doctor, why do they have to have repeat surgeries for these tumors? Why are they growing back? My mother pulled the sheet over her head because she was embarrassed that I would question the God doctor. So in those days, nonetheless, he could not give me an answer. So when I was told that I had a tumor, big as a grapefruit, in my uterus, and that they were scheduling me for surgery. And I said, yeah, you can schedule me for surgery. Then I went outside the door and I did, can you see my finger?
Yes.
Power woman. I said, you are a dead man. 2 weeks later, he was dead. Now, wasn't trying to kill him really, but I figure I'm in the army of the Lord. So if he's doing wrong, then he has to pay that price. Well, what he was doing, he was known as the womb snatcher in the city where I came from. And the wombs he was snatching were people that looked like us, wombs. His name was Dr. Rosanelli. I hope he's learned his lesson. So I did not, nonetheless, I didn't have the surgery. I walked in my mom's house and she was reading a book called Prevention Magazine. And I told her what had happened. And she said, well, there's a lady in this magazine who fasted for 40 days on organic fruit juice and distilled water. Would you like to try her? I said, I just finished telling God all about itself. And you asked me, would I like to try, girl? I'd be scared not to try it. Yes, I tried it. I did the 40-day fast. I went from 135 pounds, which I wish I could get back, 135 pounds to 95 pounds. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about a lot of things. As I'm sure many of you on this has already had the experience of fasting. And if you have not, then get with someone where you who knows about fasting, because you can fast for different things. You can fast for your physical health. You can fast for your mental health. You can fast for your spiritual elevation. And there are different ways that you fast for those different areas. So our title, we decided we landed on, and then there was woman. Many of you probably already know that the word woman in our community, we break it down to womb man, which means womb of man. Minister Louis Farrakhan said a long time ago to the brothers, he said, that's not your woman. She belongs to Allah, and Allah put her on loan to you. So you have to treat her like you would treat Allah. That's right. Because through her, Allah is present in us all. So I said, wow, I like that. So there was woman, but it was more than woman. It was the conduit through which life enters this earth, not just through people, through all the so-called animals as well. There are some instances where the male sits on the eggs and brings forth the form. I forget which is frogs or one of those ones like that.
I know penguins. I watch a special, and the female have the eggs, and the men immediately spread themselves out and sit and stay on those eggs.
Thank you, my darling.
I thought I'd just share that.
That process alone shows you the relationship between the so-called male and so-called female aspects of the nature of those particular animals. Now, it is said, I've learned through my many years of studies, that the laws that govern the universe, the laws that govern nature, are obedient in all the animals, in all the forms except man.
I know.
So go ahead, sister, you got to say it.
No, I'm just saying, those that doggone choice that we end up getting. But the animals, they know instinctively what to do, and they just do it,
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
so we have the wonderful choice. Yeah,
the mammoth butterfly knows to go down there to South America every year. Don't nobody go to him and say, okay, it's time to go.
right.
The bee forms a certain kind of helix in its flight when it flies. Don't nobody say, hey, make that shape when you fly. No, it doesn't work like that. What is man's situation? Man's situation, like Sister said, like Queen Mother said, has a choice. But the thing is this, man coming into this mix up with this group over here, mixed with that group over there. And next thing you know, what you thought you knew, you no longer know. So it's passed down to various generations. So even though we have a choice, we were also taught about the laws. I studied with a group called the Asase Society. And one of the things they teach is the 11 laws of God. And the first law is I was made in the likeness of a piece that nothing can destroy, nothing can disturb, not even destroy, can't even disturb it. You can't shake me. And sister holding up the book, my art with the 11 laws in it. And we're going to visit that as we do this program on Wednesdays. So we can share that with everybody. Then the thing is this, Heru represents the dot in the middle of the circle, what in math they call pi. And Heru's decisions are based on its ability to be circumspect, to turn in that circle and see what's going on all around. So his sight is unlimited. Therefore, when he makes a choice, the choice is based on unlimited information. However, because we also have been imbibed with emotions, and a lot of times our emotions will direct us in the areas against what we're even trying to do, although it may not seem like that. So his mother, or Set, which represents what we are, woman who births, who brings imagination into reality. You saw Hawa's cup and the painting behind her. She birthed those. I think I remember Queen Mother Aduni saying to me that she birthed the best organization. And so, and when we do music, I'm also a musician. And when I do music, I birthed it. I didn't create it because I didn't even know it was there. I could be walking around the house chanting and singing, and I didn't know where it came from. I'll go on stage and I never do the same song twice the same way. I don't know what it's going to be until I open my mouth or somebody records it, then I hear it. I have a little technique that I do with the audience where I give them the song that they created in me. In other words, you know, we have an exchange, right? We are performing, but they're giving back energy. And so at the end of the show, I will sing whatever song comes up in my head and tell them that's what they created through me by giving me their energy. So you don't know as an artist all the time, unless you have planned to do it a certain way, how something is going to turn out. So I used to, as a little girl, I was real skinny, no breasts, hardly have any now, but flat, straight sides. So I didn't like the way I looked. I tried to drink nutritional drinks they sold on the back of the comic books and everything, so I could look pretty and have a fine shape like everybody else. But it turned out that nature, or Neteru, knew what it was doing. Because now I'm 78, I hold my weight, I'm doing all right, and I give thanks that I was skinny in the beginning. So we are, Hawa and I talked about serving tea. Hawa, would you like to share your experience with serving tea?
When I first met Dr. Ayaba, she had a tea party. No, it's not a tea party. She had tea. And she invited us to her home. We sat around the table. She has a table and you sit with pillows around it. And we were excited. And she asked the question, who wants to serve? And who wants to be served? Or who wants to receive? And of course, everybody wanted to be served. Served. Yeah, serve me. Yeah. And she broke down a lesson that she's going to explain. And at the end, I'm just going to say this. She asked the question again, who want to serve and who want to be served? And everybody wanted to be the server. There you go, Mama.
There's an art to serving, but there's also a greater art in receiving. Many people don't, especially people like us who may be highly creative, very independent, all this kind of stuff, don't want to receive, they want to give. But there's an art in receiving, just like there's an art in giving. My aunt used to give us money and give us different things. And we said, oh no, that's okay, I'm Brenda, we don't need it. But she wasn't a person of no strong, high means. She said, don't cause me to miss my blessing. I said, huh? She said, if you don't receive from me, then I won't be given a blessing to receive from someone else. So don't stop my blessing.
Yeah.
So that shut me down right there.
Yeah.
And as you know, the Japanese have a methodology for serving tea. So does the Chinese. the Philippines, which come from the Asiatic or Asian culture. So the art of the serving the tea involves your humility, your joy in putting it together. You're creating magic when you serve tea. You're taking some plain water that, of course, is wonderful to drink, and you're adding life-giving herbs into that water, and you're squeezing lemon for those who prefer lemon, and you're putting honey for those who prefer honey to sweeten it, or some form of sweetener. Now, some people say they don't want no sweetener. They want it just like it is. And in that process, you're in that situation that Sister Hawa was talking about, we were on the floor. So you're on your knees, you're putting everything together in a peaceful, joyful manner. So the person who's going to receive that tea is also receiving the peace and the joy. It's not just a water with some tea in it. It's water with your love in it. And we want to inspire and encourage everyone to try to do that with your friends or your family, and have your have your own tea serving and tea receiving. Like one sister, she said, "Oh no, that's okay, I'll fix mine." I said, "Not here, you can't fix it. You have to receive it from someone else." And she said, "But I'm uncomfortable with somebody doing something, serving me." And that's that's the case in a lot of situations with our people, because we have this subconscious historical connection to serving as connected to slavery, or connected to the idea that you are better than somebody else if somebody serves you. So we have to get rid of, our cleansing doesn't just begin with reading books. Our cleansing also is interaction with one another, loving one another. What is love? How do you give love? How do you receive love? Is loving a man different from loving a woman? And I mean love, not in love, not physical.
Not lust, not sexual.
That's right, right. Although I try not to use the word sex anymore, because I don't even know what that means. I've used the word joining, because I know what that is. You know, in the community, we used to say hooking up with somebody. I know what hooking up is too. So, How, I have a question. You indicated that the dandelion is grown wild, right? In the yard, you can find it just about anywhere. And if any of you've seen the little skinny stem with the white puffy thing on it, that's part of the dandelion, right? Is that the flower of the dandelion?
Right.
Okay. So now everybody who didn't know, now you know. So my question we're moving right along. If I'm going too fast, let me know. If there's more details you want in a certain area, let us know. What is culture? Since we mentioned culture and we talked about the serving of the tea and the magic of
love.
That.
Yeah.
What is culture? Ma'am, what'd you say, love?
Oh, no, you were just giving the order. And I was just throwing in that we're on the subject of love.
Yes, we are. What is culture is one of the questions. What is American culture? What is US culture? What is Black culture? Is there one African culture or one indigenous Native American culture? So, do we have the ability to interact with one another? Anybody want to gather?
Absolutely.
They got to take it off mute.
Yeah, you guys, ladies, take it off of mute.
Yeah,
And
because our forum is basically a conversation. We're not here just to talk to you. We want interaction. We want you to jump in with your questions, add your cup of tea, and share. This is we just let our hair down and we talk.
yeah, for some reason in the chat, there's only myself and Juanita is showing up on my.
Okay.
That might be, I don't know if that was as a result of how you came in, which it shouldn't be.
Well, I see a blossoming lotus. Greeting if you're there.
Yeah, you can see it on the top. I mean, you know, on the screen, but as it relates to the chat where people can type in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you guys see it? Do you ladies see it? I have to stop you
Yeah,
guys.
but the chat, unless a person types in it, you won't see
Right. It
anything else.
says
Oh,
type message here.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think let me look. I'm thinking
Talking
about the
about the
participants.
participants?
Yeah, I see all the participants. Okay, got it. Thanks. Thanks, Pam. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is some good stuff, y'all.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Queen, where are you? Ayaba?
I'm right here.
Oh. It's like.
She
My
she
nose, you know,
disappeared on us.
I had to blow my nose this early morning. Everybody's trying to
I
had to-
trying to detox, break the fast.
Right.
So
Yes.
some people define culture as a way of life. The way you live, the way you relate to nature, the way you relate to your community, your family, et cetera, et cetera. Our culture here in North America is not our culture. We have, if we as females, we as women, we as mothers, we as teachers have to stand on the square of truth. You don't like the way you look? Why? Because somewhere down the line, somebody said the way you look is ugly. Nina Simone
how
spent many
we look.
years feeling very ugly
Mhm.
until the African cultural movement started taking place in America. Then she felt beautiful, not just beautiful, extraordinarily beautiful. She was a personal friend of mine, and I can tell you, she loved herself after the cultural movement came in, and she saw she wasn't the only person that looked like that, and looking like that was part of a very ancient and African cultural look in our world. So she began to define herself for herself. This is the American. Now, what is American culture? This is America as far as the continent goes. But America belonged to the Aboriginals, the Native Americans, as they call them, the people who were here before the white man came. We're now living in a time where people don't want to discuss things like this. Isn't it interesting how the script just flipped? But like I said, we are the women, we give birth, so we have to give birth to truth. And truth is not something to fear. Truth is what Heru stands on. And when Heru's emotions get involved, now when I speak Heru, Tehuti, etc., I'm speaking of faculties within each and every one of us that we can draw from based on thousands, if not millions of years of development. We're not yesterday's people. We are all days people. They don't even know when we got on this planet. Nobody knows. Well, somebody might know, but we haven't met them yet. So American culture then would be what the indigenous people's culture is and was and is. And when you go around the world and you look at the indigenous people in each continent or each area of the world, you will find that they are absolutely mirror images of each other. They do colors. This right here is some Hindu business from India. See, and it's got mirrors in it. And people think these mirrors are fashion or design. These mirrors have an intrinsic metaphysical principle and reason for being here. It is said that when demon spirits or bad spirits get a reflection of themselves, they run.
That's right.
So that's one of the reasons we wear mirrors. Then in the Chinese culture, feng shui, I believe it's called, you put a mirror on your front door and all your doors, so that when people with bad intentions come to the door, that it reflects back to them. So these mirrors are not coincidence, and these mirrors are not by design, not by the design of the physical world or fashion world. And as you become acquainted with more cultures, you'll begin to find out that everybody has these different elements that serve the same purpose. I'm a part of the Black Indian organization started by my cousin, and I do the powwow, the dance with the women in the powwow. And one of the dresses that I gotta get one of these days is the one with the bells on it. Now the dress with bells from the waist to the hemline. So when they dance, you hear the music or the rhythm from the bells. Those bells make the noise that does what?
Jingle.
Anybody want to guess? What'd you say, Howard?
Oh, the bells make the noise. They
Yes.
give the body vibration. It jingles.
It jingles, but it's also there to keep away so-called
Evil
bad-
spirit.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
With the sound.
the sound, right?
Keeping it away. All
right.
right.
And in African culture, when they play the agogo,
Mhm.
that bell, it's not just to make music. It's like shouting away bad energy. It's like the bells that ring. And you see the church bells that the Caucasian people have on their churches,
Mhm.
same thing.
Mhm.
But they don't tell you that. You don't learn that.
That's right. That's right.
Because you're not living in your culture. But in your culture, you learn these things from the time you're a little baby until you leave this world. These things are not by coincidence. Nobody's just trying to make some music. The relationship between the physical person and the spiritual person is not disconnected in cultures like Native America, Africa, Chinese, or which they might call Taoism, Hinduism. These cultures do not separate the life of the physical being from the life of the spiritual being. It's like being, as Hawa and I talked the other day, it's like being in the ocean. We all jump in the ocean. We all going to get wet. We might respond to the wetness in different ways, but we all going to get wet. And if something big splashes in the water, we all going to move, whether you want to move or not, because the wave, the energy of the water pushes you.
Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
go back like that or fall down and get your head covered with the water and you jump up because you can't breathe in all that water. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Howard.
Yeah, our subject that we were talking about was what is consciousness? And then you spoke about the water. And
Yes.
I'm not gonna take over.
Go ahead. Yes,
but,
go on.
But no, I was just thinking as part of a participation to go around and ask, what is consciousness? What do you think it is? You know, you're explaining it, but check the mind of the people, see what they're thinking, you know. And
Well,
then,
you put the question out there. Anybody want to venture your
Okay.
idea? for consciousness?
Okay, I'm gonna start.
Okay.
What is consciousness? Conscious is the mind that includes sensation, perception, memory, feeling, and imagery inside of our current awareness. So for me, consciousness is awareness of what's going on around you, going on within you, through all those things I just said, sensation, perception. Next.
Well, I like you saying it like that. Consciousness, I've never heard it like that, but that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because when you're conscious of something, then you are aware of, you're aware of it, how it feels, how it tastes, all that kind of stuff is the awareness of that. I like that. Yeah.
So using the example of the ocean or being in the water was where we drew this idea of consciousness. Because when you're in that water, that's your total consciousness, so you're gonna drown. You're aware of what you're in, you're aware of its power, you're aware of what it can do, you are aware of its joy and its pleasure. Someone teaches you how to lay flat on your back so you can float. And in the beginning, you may experience the emotion of fear, the emotion of doubt.
Mhm.
That's all it is. It's not a reality. It's an emotion that you experience through your mind. And your mind is the greatest power in your body. The mind dictates so much, I can't even begin to explain it. You have to become acquainted with it. Get acquainted with your mind. It's not just a thing sitting on top of your head. It gives you direction. It gives you information. It tells you things that you never found in a book. You'll say something out your mouth and somebody say, how do you know that?
Mhm.
I don't know. Right. I don't know where that came from.
And the whole key to that is our mind controls us. It's flipping the script. How do we control our mind?
Mhm. Mhm.
How do we? You want to go on with that? Howard said, don't do that.
But that'll be another topic long subject, how to control our minds. One way I can say by clearing the clutter in your mind with meditation.
Exactly. That was the word I was looking for, sister. Meditation. There was a song a friend of mine wrote years ago, and it says, meditation will take you higher, higher and higher. And that's all it said. It was around. You just say it over and over again. And because then that song becomes what? A meditation.
A meditation. And just by that song, it's cleansing and it's clearing without you trying to get rid of it. The air, the breathing help get rid of it. The sound help get rid of it. The sun help get rid of it.
Come on, sister.
That's why I said I have to contain myself, because it's just life, and it feels so good when you I'm going through this thing called emptiness with my yogi. And to empty yourself with all that stuff, then you can put in the good stuff and filter out the bad stuff. But then again, I'm just the host.
No, don't say that. That's not.
I know I got to step back. I got to step back because you got the information. Even myself is busy, got my notes, and I'm writing stuff down.
Well, all that's good.
Meditate on it later.
But see, Hawa is a Taurus. Hawa is Earth, and Earth contains everything. You can't hold the Earth back. So if you hold the Earth back, you're going to end up having a volcanic eruption.
Oh, here she goes. Here she goes. You know what? I like when Mama Hawa, she was saying about the releasing. What do you say? Anyway, so I was just thinking about when because we was talking about the mind and letting things go and stuff like that, when we're trying to make it happen, we actually cause it to stay, because our focus is on, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of this. Versus like when you talk about the meditation and just going within and then releasing it, not, I got to get rid of it, because now you're involving yourself, and you're focusing on that. But that very focus, like when people say, I'm fighting this, I'm fighting that. Why are you fighting? Why don't you just create something? Use the word creating. When people are coming together and they're coming against something, if the lesbians or the blacks or the women or whatever it is, if there is a fight, then you are attached, because you can't fight yourself. Within yourself you can't. But I'm saying when you're fighting, then you're involved in that same energy that is coming against you. But if you are always creating something for whatever those problems are or issues are, if you're always in a state of creating something new, something different, something more of your liking, then the others will not have room. They won't find no room in there to cause that friction. Because that's energy, that's energy. And that's my take on it.
And then we give you some inspiration this morning, sister. I hear you. It's pouring out.
I'm telling you, these last 2 days, oh my gosh, it's been amazing. So I've been looking forward to everyone. I had to remind myself to go to bed. So but yeah,
this is
I was thinking about.
This is culture. What we're doing, this here exchange, all of this is culture. In ancient African society and in some of the societies in Africa today who still practice traditional culture, the women had women's societies for the sole purpose of what we're doing right here. You wasn't thrown out into the world as catch can. You didn't know how to be pleasing to a man. The man didn't know how to be of service to you. The men's society taught a man how to serve a woman, and the women's society taught a woman how to care for a man. See, so there wasn't this catch as catch can. There wasn't these people beating up folks when they said something they didn't like, because the beating up part is not them really being angry at that person. The beating up part is some centuries of anger and pain going on inside. We have so much that we could talk about. We can't do it all in one day. So we're really grateful to have the opportunity to do this, every Wednesday
Yes.
until we fall out.
Yeah.
What is U.S. culture? I'm skipping through all of this because we're going to come back and revisit all of these one at a time, probably. What is U.S. culture? United States culture is hot dogs, football games, baseball, prostitution, homeless children, homeless families. U.S. culture is death. They want you to eat yourself to death. They put commercials on TV so that when you're watching TV, you go in the refrigerator and get a hamburger or whatever it is. I mean, we have to be real about this. My friend Payamba told me he went in a grocery store the other day and there was a man in there who appeared to be homeless or something. And he said to Pi, he said, "You're a pimp." Pi said, "Me? I'm not no pimp." And anybody who knows Pi ain't no pimp.
Right.
I said, I was wondering, well, why did the universe bring this to me? And then the man said, "You perpetrating a fraud." And Pi said, "I ain't perpetrating no fraud." Why he said to me? And we began to discuss it. I said, "Pi, that message wasn't for you. That message was for you to give to others, because we're here in America trying to live one life, but we're forced to live another life. So we're perpetrating a fraud. We're not living what we feel. We're not living what we know is the right way to live. And in many cases, some of us are afraid to live the life that we know. A quick story. I got plenty of stories. Quick story. In Charlotte, North Carolina, I was at the job. The man sent around a paper. The person who owned the company said that we cannot dress in long dresses and keep our head covered. I said, "Who he talking about?" You know why he said it? Because Black History Month was right around the corner. And I said, "Oh, this is my time to wear as many scarves on my head as I can find." I wear 2 or 3 dresses. That's what I mean by we're always constantly fighting. And then we, in our own families, when you change your dress style, change your hairstyle to be more what leads towards what we think is our culture, what we have learned is our culture, even our own families look at us like we lost our mind and gone crazy. And maybe some of them may even say, "Why are you dressing like that? Why don't you comb your hair? Why don't you, why? One little boy told me years ago, "Why is a crooked letter?" So I'm just breezing through this. What is Black culture? Black culture blew my mind the other day. I went to an event in Florida. Upstairs was the African cultural ceremony. Downstairs was the African-American people having a luncheon and a party and etc. Well, I have a cousin who went and had whatever they do to get bigger butts. And it was all over that restaurant. I mean, Black women, we don't need no more butts. We got plenty of butts.
Oh, man.
It was like an explosion of big butts. And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, this is the new culture among the Black people." Where does that come from? It comes from other people,
Other culture.
other folks in their culture want to have butts like us or like our women have. So then our women double and triple up on it. Why does this happen? Because they don't have the opportunity to intermix and intermingle with a program like this, with Sister Aduni and other sisters who bring this wonderful knowledge to the people. And my prayer and meditation is that we will be able to reach out more and more frequently to these sisters so they can see how beautiful they already are. Anyway, that's what Black culture has become today. We used to be taking care of one another. I have a song that I wrote and it says, "Oh, how I wish those days were here. We wouldn't have to, we would have a roof over our head and somewhere to make our beds." I told my auntie many years ago, I said, "I'll never be homeless." She said, "Well, why you say that?" I said, "Because my family is big and y'all may not want me to be there, but I sleep on your front porch." I'm never gonna be homeless. So is there one African culture or indigenous Native American culture? No, there are over 52 countries or nations on the continent of Africa. But the US and European worlds have thrown Africa out there like Africa is a country. Africa is not a country. And there are many different cultures in Africa, or in the place they call Africa, because Baba, what was his name? Can't think of his name. I'm moving too fast. Anyway, the brother who brought the Egyptian stuff to us, Yohanan, I can't think of his name, but he brought the Egyptian knowledge to us and a lot of history. Brother Yosef Yakana. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
He said that the name of the country was Al-Kebulon, and someone said it was Kush. And so we know Africa means skin of God, according to the Greek people who renamed it. And Caucasians have a way of renaming everything. They renamed us. But look what they couldn't take away. Queen Mother Aduni said that she was a queen in another life, and her husband was a king in another life, and all her children have come back to her. So look at that. They couldn't take that away. They might have renamed her through her parents having received the European name by way of their parents, but they couldn't take away your history. They couldn't take that away, and they can never take away your history. That's why we sit here.
Right.
That's why we feel like we feel about who we are. The greatest, and I'm not saying that to boost our egos, I'm saying it as a matter of fact. The greatest life form on the planet is Caucasian melanin carrying women. They said that the mitochondrial DNA is found in all the people, and that was an African woman or a woman found on that continent, not in Europe. So same thing with indigenous Native American culture. They may all have feathers, they may all dance a certain way to powwow, they may all do the same similar sounding chant. But if you listen closely, you'll see the words are not the same. You will see that the attire is not the same. Everybody lived their culture according to their divine inspiration coming from their ancestors. I keep looking back because I'm looking at the clock. What else do we have over here? What is the significance of saying you are a divine being? What is Sister Queen Mother Aduni like this? In a source set, they teach us, well, I've been with them 9 years now, but in a source set, instead of saying my or you, we'll say your person, because you are not your person. Your person dwells within your being, your divinity. Your divinity is the energy that dwells through you, that has your heart beating, your breath moving at a certain rate, cause you to be able to move without even thinking. Look at that. You just put your finger up to your chin. Were you saying, okay, put my finger up to my chin? Were you thinking that? No. Sister got a smile on her face. When she think, okay, face, smile. No, these are automatic. They come with the spirit. They come with the divinity that dwells within you. Some people call it indwelling intelligence. Some people call it soul. I got so many different names. It's not the name to get caught up in. It's the definition. How do you define it? You know, you say agua in Spanish, you say water in English. And if you don't speak Spanish and you don't speak English, but you want some water, just bring the glass with the water in it. You know what you're talking about. See, so my person, I and I, Rastafarians say I and I. And the first time I heard it, first my brain being 4 planets in Virgo, started examining it. I and I. And I said, wow, that's true. If you put the I in front of the I, it's one. See, so that's I and I, that's our culture. Higher self, lower self. Well, higher self and lower self is really a kind of a misnomer because you're not split in half. You're a continual movement of energy. You're a continual movement of water in your system, and shows up as urine, shows up as blood, various other things, hormones and other kind of things that we got. And I'm running because I don't want to miss my time. Spiritual and religious. We're going to revisit all of these, but I want to give you all a taste of what our format and how we're going to work this thing. Spiritual, people say, well, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But if you take the word religion There are different ways people would break it down, but this woman spiritualist I met on the street in the museum in New York, she had a purse, and her purse had a Catholic priest, well, a priest, a preacher, and a man, a priest, a preacher, a man, and a devil. And each one was chained to the other. And she said, this is religion. I said, how you mean? She said, you see, they all chained to the devil. They all chained to evil. Religion means to rejoin or rechain or do it again, time up again. See, so some people have put it into a positive light and say, well, it means to rejoin, where we were broken up from each other. And through religion, we join each other again. But that's not true. If you take a sword to go around and kill people because they don't believe as you do, there's no joining in that. That's murder. Mm-hmm. So these are a few of the little things. What is love? What do we mean when we say, I love you? South American cultures and other cultures who use their language more definitively won't say, I love you. They'll say, whenever you're in my presence, my heart skips a beat. Whenever you come near me,
that's love.
There's joy inside of my heart. Whenever I'm with you, I feel complete. I get chills talking to myself, man, you know.
I'm just thinking, I said, well, you know, that made me feel good, you know.
And that's love. That's love.
Yes, that's what love is. And that love, in school, they try to break it down and tell us, oh, you have love for your parents, love for your brother, love for your sister. I'm sitting at 7, 8 years old, listening to this poppycock. And I said, that's not true. You know, I always got in trouble in school with my mouth. And the teacher said, well, there are different kinds of love. I said, no, ma'am, there's only one love. And you share that love with everybody you come in contact with. How did I know that? Because I come from a big family and I'm the oldest of all my cousins. So I got the benefit of my grandparents and my great-grandparents, my great aunts and my great-great aunt talking this stuff. So they couldn't put that in my head in school. So what do you mean when you say I love you? What steps can people take to show love to each other, to show love to animals? These questions I'm putting forth, I'd like for you all to think about it so next time we come together. How can you show love to a person who cannot hear or a person who cannot speak? How do you show love to a sad person? How do you show love to an angry person? How can you show love to your ancestors? And I'll leave it right there. And anybody has any comments or questions, we appreciate it.
I'll jump in if I may. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? This is so, it's such an awesome experience being here with you all and all the wonderful information you're sharing. I just want to thank you. This is helping me to elevate and helping me to have better perspective, who I am, what I'm doing, and, you know, growing in godliness. This is what I call this experience. And I just want to thank you. I can't even start naming all the little tidbits, all the little seeds you have planted in me this morning, everyone who has spoken. So I just want to thank you, especially Queen Adoni, the part about fighting, what we're fighting, because, you know, I'm, as I said, I'm beating down breast cancer again. But that helped me to realize I'm putting too much energy into it. And
you're feeding it. You're feeding it.
Yeah. And I need to just focus on the person I'm evolving to in this process.
That's right.
And that will replace any space for that breast cancer to occupy in me, because I recognize the roots of it, our spiritual, you know, childhood traumas, probably generational traumas. And this is really helping me to dig deep and to replace those things that need to be replaced with the right knowledge, good knowledge, love, and this peace and harmony. Y'all are a healing power for me. I just want to thank you.
Wow. Let me say this, just to throw in there, At my age, you gotta say it before it goes. But my sister, cancer is a emotional dis-ease.
It
That's
is.
right. That's
It
right.
is.
And so you have to, I was just telling someone the other day, you have to shred it apart. Each portion of your organs or body holds the emotion,
Mm-hmm.
and it serves that purpose. And so you have to check the emotion of the heart.
Okay.
The emotion of the liver, and we'll get into all the meanings of the part of the organ, liver, resentment, anger.
It's there.
And there's your beginning.
I'm
Or just
replacing
add
it.
that to your, just add that. And the thing
Oh,
is,
it's in there. It's in there.
you have to shred yourself apart.
And I am.
You have to not recreate, but rebirth yourself.
Thank you.
In your walk forward, how you want it to go. See, we were talking about the mind, and it's 9 o'clock. But I was talking about, we were talking about the mind, and how the mind, since you came in later, how the mind controls you. And you got to switch it around and learn how to control that mind.
Oh, I've been here the whole while. I've heard everything that everyone has said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Queen. You
I
got
want to share this for the sister here. No, you can't see with this crazy. I'm not coming back with this.
Okay, turn it.
Oh, in
turn
front
it
of me. In front
right
of me.
there, in front of you.
Right in front of your face.
There, and bring it up just a little. Bring it up. There. Stop.
I strongly recommend this book, sister. Heal Your Body.
Maya,
Put it in the
11
chat.
laws.
Yeah, type it in the chat.
Yeah,
Type
because
this
I
in the
want
chat.
that book.
Okay.
But, and I'm glad to know that you're going to be visiting it going forward week by week. Oh yeah, I caught everything that was said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
It is not. I keep seeing. You're looking at the clock. It's till 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. We're not switching over today, right?
Oh my goodness! Thank you.
Yeah, it's from 8 to 10, and I'm still hungry for some more. So.
Me
Oh,
too.
well, we got plenty.
And we got some other people, you guys, since they're gonna, open it, well, they've already opened it up. If you guys have some comments, I'd like to hear some comments about what you've heard so far. Let's go from that. And add to or ask a question, but let's get involved where it's not, like she said at the beginning, it's all of us, we're all doing this. And we're just coming from different perspectives about life as different leaders who are leading share what the platform is going to be for that day. I'd also like to ask that when I do the recording, when the recording comes out, if you are on, if your camera is off, it shows a big white box. So like right now, we will see 4 people. Wait a minute, is there more? Yeah, we'll see just 4, and then all the ones that where your names are, it's going to be a white box, which does not look good when we're, when we're shooting. So, when we record and we put that on for people to view. So just be sensitive to that, especially if you are speaking. If you're going to speak, the people who are watching it later on, they're just going to see a white box. They won't see anyone. So just be sensitive that if you're going to speak, to turn it on. We're women, it's okay. If your hair is whatever is going on, just jump in and turn it on when you're going to talk in particular. So I would just appreciate that aesthetically when they look at it. Other people. One day we'll have 1,000 up, and I can just pull only the ones that are on camera.
Yeah, on camera.
Yeah. So we want to open it up. You ladies can take it from here. I was just wanted to interject and say, why is she looking at the clock? I said, maybe she. Maybe she has something on the, okay, we're gonna do this till 9 o'clock and then we'll do this, but I
Well,
said,
I was thinking about the Zoom thing you said we were gonna do after.
oh, that's if we're on Facebook,
Right,
and,
yeah.
yeah, but no, we go till 10. And I don't have I'm almost close. I just have to get it verified as far as, it being on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone with it's open. Any questions, any comments, any things you want further expressed or more details on? We'll take this moment right here to open the door for that.
Sister, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Sister Razia. I really had a physical response to the statement about cancer being emotional, and just wanted to go further into what it means to us to get all these diagnoses in the first place. Through my life, I've met people who were very scarce in the doctor's office or going to find out what is wrong with them. They would go more to a minister, they would talk with their auntie or their best friend first, because they felt that there was something dangerous or something harmful about getting all these diagnoses.
Mm-hmm.
And having that be put in their minds and in there. So I just, and I'm coming from a place where I remember as a young girl, my grandmother sharing with us, and she was kind of laughing and she was telling her daughters, now you see, I did go, but she went to the doctor. They kept saying, Mom, you need to go. And she said, no, I don't. All I need is, I'll get this tea and I know what I'm going to take care of this. No, you need to go. So she went, and the doctor wanted to know how long it had been since she'd been to a doctor. And she said she kind of straightened up. She thought he was getting ready to tell her something serious. And he said, I just wanted to know because you are the healthiest specimen I've seen come through this door in many years.
Mhm.
And that stuck with me through the years. And I began to realize that it wasn't wise to have so many trips to a place where someone's telling you.
Feeding your mind. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if we could comment more, because I don't want to be irresponsible in knowing what's going on, but a little bit more information of how we can understand and maybe self-diagnose or be more aware of what is going on and what to do rather than running to another place to tell us.
I'll be happy to start off with that. Because I know Hawa also we have experience in that department. And when I was 8 years old, the doctor told my mother that I had migraine headaches. So she paid $10 for this big old bottle of pills. And I took a couple of them, but my headache didn't go away. So I just threw them in the toilet. I didn't know no better. And my mother said, girl, you threw all my money down the drain like that? I said, well, it's not working. So later on, my grandmother, I think it was my grandmother, said, well, just give her some, whatever they used to give you back in the day to make your bowels move. Okay, what is that? Cod liver oil or something? Yeah. And
Cod liver oil.
Because I thought moving your bowels once a week was normal. I didn't know no better. And so once that happened, the headache went away. I went to college, and I know that everybody didn't make A's. I know all the doctors didn't make A's either. I don't know which one made C's and D's. I don't know which one failed the course. Huh?
I said, I know that's right.
Yeah, so I don't know which one had to repeat the course. I don't know which one is in it for the money. I don't know which one is in it for the love. But I had the privilege of meeting Dr. Sabi, and he stayed at my house for 7 days or 14 days. And that was a life-changing experience, believe me. And I had that's how I know this divine presence, which people call God, runs through my life like water runs through the ocean. and runs through all of our lives. The thing is that here we are, we born with this wholeness, this completeness. And then we grow up in America and we become this. This part is still with fear. You better do this, you better do that. If you don't do this, this is gonna happen. You don't do that, and this one over here is saying, why? And this one over here pushing you further and further. Then you get into relationships and you say you got your heart broke, but you never get your heart broke. Your heart is there, it ain't going nowhere till it's time to
It ain't broke.
It ain't broke. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The thing is how we are raised. I always give this example. A little boy has an ice cream cone. He enjoying his ice cream cone. The little girl starts crying because she wants it. And the parents do what? Share that ice cream with her. You just being selfish. Don't be selfish. I don't do that. I said, girl, you better stop crying because you ain't gonna get nothing in life crying for it all the time. You better get rid of them tears and think of how you gonna get some of that ice cream. See, so we create a society in which the men are made to feel like they got to buy this for the woman. They got to give the woman this to make her happy. You ain't got to give me nothing, just give me you. A good you.
A good you. That's
a good
right.
You. So with the doctor business, when I found out I had the tumor, that was it for me. I said, either there's a God or there ain't no God. And if there is a God, then you need to get to work. That's exactly how I talked, because I can't give no testimony of your greatness and your goodness if you don't do something for me. See? So Nina Simone taught me that, by the way. She said, if God is your father, you're supposed to talk to him like you talk to your father. All this our Father who art in heaven, how to be the name, how to. I didn't write that. That didn't come out of my heart. I don't know who wrote it.
Yeah, that was for them. Yeah.
That was for those people.
Right.
So this woman named Everette-Hale, same type of things. She had cancer and she healed of the cancer. I don't know where she got all this stuff from that she wrote in this book, but I know it didn't come out, all of this didn't come out of her head. That's the other one. That's another one. You can heal, is that your life? You can heal your life.
Heal your life.
Every one of us should have this book. Caucasian or not, the gods work through everybody. We all got the same elements with them, but we don't all use them the same way. It's based on your culture. So she has in this little excerpt, cancer, deep hurt, long-standing resentment, deep secret or grief eating away at the self, carrying hatreds. What's the use? Now I can tell you from my aunt's experience who had cancer. She had 9 children. As they grew up and got grown, they got on her nerve. She thought that she just wanted to move. She really did. She wanted to just get away from them, get away from her husband, get away from all of that. They smoked cigarettes, they ate all kind of meat. That came from the way she grew up too. But as I came along and she started hanging out with me and come out to where we were, Indianapolis, to spend a whole month with me to fast and clean out. And I told her, when you go back home, and this is a lesson for everybody who thinks that you're gonna get support, and that it doesn't work like that. When you go back home, they're gonna still be smoking, they're gonna still be eating meat. You're gonna have to be extremely strong to hold on to what you got out here with me, because I'm not gonna be there. See? And of course, she fell back into the same old habits. Cancer ate her up and she died. If the person who has breast cancer should hold your breast in your hand and say, I love you.
Talk to them.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You are the
Rub
nourishment of
Rub
this
them
world.
and talk to them.
That one do, you can't see me. You are the nourishment. You are the nourishment and the life-giving source of every life form that comes through humanity.
Give them love.
Powerful.
That's it. Give them love. Talk to them. We just wear our breasts. And, but
so
they have meaning and feeling too.
Yes.
Our womb, our uterus, it's not just for man's pleasure. It's a part of us. And we ignore those parts. You're more into your face, your hand, things that,
things that are visible.
Yes, but those are, when it comes to the breast, you have to think of the uterus too. They work together. They are the woman, The wound, part of the wound, this is the nurturing, and this means love. So it's been neglected somewhere along the line. And it's calling out to you. First it'd be a little something, then a little something bigger, then you ain't hearing me. And you will get another chance until they say, I gave up.
That is so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Can I share a little bit about where I am on my journey? Can I take about probably maybe a minute or two?
Take what minute you need.
So I am in the process of changing, transforming. My brother beat 2 types of cancer, not my blood brother, but a spiritual brother, by going raw vegan. So he guided me into doing the master cleanse and into a lot of the tinctures, Sanical and Lapacho and several tinctures. My thing is that I did not obey. We know how much or how important obedience is in this process, right? Yeah. Obedience is key. Obedience to God's way of doing things is key. And so I did not obey the structure that he gave me, which was to fast first and then to come out of the fast with the elements of the tinctures, and then he did raw vegan himself. And the importance of organic foods, more importantly, is getting to the spiritual root of it all, uprooting the bitterness, the resentment, the anger, the frustration, the wrath, all of that. So I am in that process. It is a process because, every day brings triggers for all of that, and learning myself in the process, what am I really dealing with within me that I've ignored for so long? So just wanted to share that little bit with you, and how valuable it is to be receiving this knowledge from you guys, and not just the knowledge, the love, because the power of the Spirit is the essence of it all. So just want to
tell you this. Don't beat yourself up.
Thank you.
You have not done anything wrong. That just listen to that. When you first started that, the brother told me to do it like this, but I didn't do it like that.
Thank you.
He can give you, or we, or whoever can give you the information, but you got to listen. And it's like, oop, I put this first instead of that. That's okay.
Well,
you know what? We have to be so aware of what we're doing, but Spirit guides, and you find yourself doing, and that's listening to Spirit and letting Spirit, by controlling the mind, emptying the mind, letting the mind free itself from all that other chatter. Oh, I did this wrong.
That is an excellent point. But let me share this with you, because there is an order, but at the same time, I can't feel ashamed or guilty for learning the order while I'm learning it, Right. And I am wrestling with that, reminding myself that, now that I'm actually on medication now, because God did tell me through a loved one, either do it exactly as Vincent told you to do it, or take a little medication and then do it exactly as he told you. So the importance of fasting first, to clear the pathway, to clear the colon lining, so that our bodies are not feeding off the sewer, basically, because there's so much gunk and stuff. You all know this. I'm talking to the choir, I know. But so I had not fasted first. So all the stuff I was taking, it still had to go through a filter of mess, and didn't get the benefit of everything. So anyway, so now I'm at the point I'm taking the medication. Let me share this testimony. While I did the first part and then switched over and fasted and then came back into doing it naturally, the tumor did shrink. I had not gone totally organic though. So the tumor did shrink on one side, while on the other side, it tried to find a way to grow beyond its boundary that it was in. So I am taking the medication, but the doctor got a chance to see the handiwork of God and say, how did you do that? Because tumors don't shrink without medication. And I got a chance to tell her by being obedient to God, because when I am obedient to God, everything about me has to be obedient. So I did ask God, you know, when will this be over? And his answer to me was, when your obedience is fulfilled. So, but at the same time, as you said, Hawa, did I say it right?
You got it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Thank you. As you said, that whole guilt trip thing, that whole shame thing, that is not going to help me. And I am working my way through that, but it becomes a part of that consciousness awareness we were just talking about, to realize what I'm doing to myself, you know, what I'm doing to myself. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, for me, for us. Thank you for your love. God bless
gotta
you.
strip.
I want to
tell you, you gotta
Yes.
strip. You gotta
Thank
strip
you.
down. You gotta
Yes.
strip down to the bone, to the nakedness.
Yes.
And this is true. We follow traditions like Mama Ayaba said. I'm gonna call y'all Queen Mama, but you know who I'm talking
whatever.
about.
Just don't call me late for supper.
But we following the wrong path. You know, we are like a round circle being forced into a square peg to live someone else's life. I don't care if we've been on this earth, been in this US 4,000 whatever years, we still of African and other descent that you got to feed and know in order. That's the map right there.
That's right.
It's how you say the United States new form of Black people, you know, dying at a rapid rate.
Well, he's using us as examples to help us come out of that. That's one thing. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's one thing God told me the first time I beat this down. And well, I can't say because the battle's not mine, it's his. He did it through me. But I found out about fitness being so important, and I became a fitness instructor, including Zumba. And I felt so inadequate, and so, you know, just like I can't do this. And God told me, enjoy and help us save my people. So this is what we are doing, you know, this whole transformation, this whole shift, as Pamela said it, you know, called it. We are doing the work of, you know, bringing us to the next phase of saving our people, because what's going on in this country, like you said, people are going down and out following the ways of this world.
I just want to add to this, to contribute to this, the idea that, well, this might be hard to take for growth and transforming oneself is not always painless, especially when we have things in our heads that were planted there by those who would rather see us dead than alive. Many people are afraid to take the COVID vaccine shot for that very reason. But it's not the COVID vaccine shot that's important. What's important is keeping your immune system strong. Strengthen your immune system. No shortcut to that. So when how am I going to say this? Our experiences, our events that take place in our lives, our challenges, according to the ancient Kemetic system, are designed by the Neter or by nature or by God to bring us into becoming or returning to being divine beings. When your divinity, which is right up in here in that pineal and pituitary gland, when that divinity speaks, man chooses to listen or not to listen. But the choices are based on the foundation of life that man or woman has been socialized into. When you choose to go to a doctor, you should go to the doctor with the idea of, well, let's see what it is he's going to say. Then I'm going to go home and work on it. I'm going to call a naturopath doctor and let them know what happened, and they'll give me the right formula to take care of myself. not going to I always call them the dark tour, a tour through darkness. So you go and you find out what you need to know. Then you go home and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fear. I was in a Masonic temple. My uncle he owned the building. And as the creator and the ancestors would have me do, I went there one evening looking for him and he wasn't there. I saw the sign say Eastern Star. And I know that symbol is a pentagram, an upside down star. So I wanted to go and see, well, why would they be using an upside down star? So I go up to the second floor, which is where their temple part was. And on the floor was this upside down star. And it had five letters, F-A-T-A-L. Well, I had to walk around it first to find out what it spelled. I said, I got to go counterclockwise. What's a 5-letter word that counters fatal? And I said, oh, faith. So I went counterclockwise and I spelled F-A-I-T-H. See, people want to say that faith is a belief in something that hasn't happened yet. No, faith is not a belief in something that hasn't happened yet. Faith is a knowing that what you want to happen is going to happen. That's what faith is. It's the motor, it's the energy, it's the engine that drives your knowingness, not your belief. Belief has lie right in the middle of it. B-E-L-I-E-F. So when we're speaking this language they call English, when we're speaking it, we don't know what we're saying because we've never investigated it. So you got to investigate your words. My friend called it abjad. So we take the letters and create whatever that number is, and then we look at what that number means. We look at what letter the total of that number indicates. We look at the everything. We have to become miners of our minds. Let me repeat that. We have to become miners of our mind. Don't be afraid of your mind. Your mind is your child. You got a bunch of stuff going on up there that you didn't even put up there. You got stuff there from years and centuries ago. That's why you feel certain things about certain parts of your body. See, I had tumors. I already told you that. Then something came that they call some kind of dermoid cyst. And the dermoid cyst can contain teeth, skin, all that kind of stuff. I said, oh, you mean a baby was supposed to come and didn't come? So they said they're not sure, but that could be the case. I said, well, I'm sure it is. When I was born and could talk, after I learned how to talk, I asked my mother, where's my brother? My mama said, you ain't got no brother. I said, he's supposed to be here. So years, so now in my 80s, 70s, 60s, when I found out I had this dermoid cyst, I said, oh, that's my brother. He didn't form completely. He didn't come completely. So they were going to do it, but they wanted to do surgery. I said, never happened. I'm not doing no surgery. I didn't tell them that. I just said, okay, schedule it. And I went out and got on on Google and looked up everything about a dermoid cyst that I could find. And when it finally left my body and I went to the doctor for the examination, I use them, but I don't lose myself in what they say. So then the doctor examined me and she said, I don't see no cyst up here. I don't feel no cyst up here. I said, oh, well, I guess that's what came out. And she said, if you had a cyst and a dermoid cyst, and the way you're telling me it came out, that's not possible. She don't know, I dwell in the impossible. She said, that's not possible. It couldn't come out that way. But it came out that way because I ain't got it no more. So I'm just saying, everything has a purpose and a function, but our main function is to become divine beings. Our main function is to become acquainted with the God that dwells in us as us.
Amen.
You know, I think a lot of us that is on this journey and know our purpose is because we all have been through something like that. Something that will change your life, teach you, show you. For me, my story.
And confirm you. And confirm.
I like that, yes. Yeah. But my story is the same. My journey began because I had a cyst, they call it, on my breast. And for years, I watched it grow. And I kept saying, something is not right with this. So, okay, I go to the doctor and they said it was just a fluid filled sac. And so they would aspirate it. And so almost like once a year, they would aspirate it. Then it was like twice a year. Then it was like, come back in a couple. So it was growing and growing and they couldn't give me answer or anything. So I started looking it up and that started me on my journeys. I started going through every book I can find and I started reading. And I took, and I had this book with me, but I took this fast. I took a spiritual bath. I detoxed myself from everything on my body that I thought can go in. No deodorant, no lotion, no, just none of those things that has chemical in it. I went totally chemical free. No nail polish, I got rid of that because I had to figure out what was going on here. So that means I had to strip my habits and strip ways. So all that stuff you put in your hair, it goes into your bloodstream. That's why I started thinking, all this, I'm putting this lotion on. What is this lotion? Can you eat it? Can you taste it? Well then, no, I don't think I'm gonna use that. Baby powder queen, Johnson & Johnson, all everywhere. And just want to smell good, perfumes for him. I did all that and I stopped it. And so the knot was a size of a walnut. It was a nice size knot. But when I went back, because I started like trying to find it, it's like, well, where is it? Yeah. And besides, I thought this temple was so clean. I called myself just, I really didn't want to eat to put nothing dirty in it. Yeah.
That's where I am.
So I started with my just fluids. I'm a thin person. I got even thinner, but I didn't care because I got to work on this. And so you are your best physician. I'm not kidding. They have the tools that we don't have, the machines and all that other stuff to give me my idea. But thank you very much for the notes, and I'm gonna work on myself. When I went back, I'm like you, Doc. I wish I could name this man because he was at Methodist Hospital here, and he told me that I was on a fantasy trip. Because he said he thought I went to another doctor and had something done to remove it. Yeah, I went to another doctor, all right, you know.
A higher doctor.
The healer.
Healer.
Right. And because it was the size of a teeny little pea. And from that to a little pea. And he was so angry and he told me that, he said, you know, I guess I'll talk to you when you get off this fantasy trip. And I just got off the table and I said, I guess I won't be talking to you. And I remember leaving out the door proud of myself.
Yes.
That, okay, I'm gonna find those because I always like Queen says that I'm an earth. I'm always absorbing. So I start following people that's mind like that sound like what I needed. Dr. Laila Africa. I start following him. Queen Afu, I start following him. Queen Ayaba Bay, I start following her. There are wonderful people in my life that I attach myself to and listen, because the body speaks to you, but sometimes somebody gotta speak to the body so the body can speak to you.
And speaking of attaching people, you know, the universe, we say the universe, but perhaps it's our ancestors, but all that's part of the universe, brings what we need to us. We, like we were talking about Haru earlier, we choose to accept it or we choose to reject it. And a source said they teach us that we choose to be angry. And, you know, some people haven't had an attitude about that. But I don't choose to be angry. That person did this, said that, made me, but nobody can make you angry. No one can make you upset. That is an energy that we absorb into our being, and it festers, as my daddy used to say. It festers inside of you and comes and expels itself in the form of what we call anger. That's why we visit the Tehuti faculty in us for wisdom before we act. Like that's what my grandmama and grandparents used to say, think before you speak. That's visiting Tehuti. Oh, we've got these wonderful historical verifications and formulations. Our body has a blueprint. That blueprint, no one can see. You can't even see it. You don't even know what you look like. You know what this here body, this vehicle looks like, but you don't know what you look like. And so that blueprint has the program that is that the foundation that has built, that we are built upon. And what is the movement and the energy of that blueprint is what we call God, or what we call Nebuchadnezzar, or what we call Allah, all these different names that we give it. All we know is that we don't time when it comes in and we don't time when it goes out. My aunt was 105 when she left this world. She just went to bed. That was it. You never saw her in a living frame again. So we have to begin to know this blueprint, know how it works, know how it functions. Fear has to go. Fear and guilt are the two main enemies of this life form. But they are thoughts. And remember I told you earlier when I started in my book, thoughts are things. Thoughts are alive with power. Thoughts are living energy beings. Thoughts await your will to act. Thoughts are not just, and every thought you have is not your own. Stop claiming thoughts that don't belong to you. You don't have to think certain thoughts. A thought comes to your mind and you start remembering somewhere when you was angry or sad or agitated. What are you thinking that for? Who you serving by thinking those thoughts? Everything we do is a serving to something. So we have to become more aware of what we are serving. Are you serving good? Are you serving evil? Are you serving that which builds, or are you serving that which destroys? It's your choice. It's no one's fault. It's not even your fault. But there's a song that says nobody's fault but man. So if I die and my soul be lost, it's nobody's fault but mine. What the author, what the writer of the song is saying is that I have a choice.
Yes.
It goes on to say, I had a Bible in my hand. I have a Bible or a Quran or whatever in my hand. In my hand. So if I die and my soul be lost, it's nobody's fault but mine. And we have to release ourselves through all the things that we've shared here today. We have to release ourselves. You start having crazy thoughts, you can't get it out of your head. Turn on some music, turn on some Funkadelics, turn on some Nina, turn on some Lonnie Liston Smith, turn on.
Praise God, praise God. Go into your praise.
Yes, go into your praise. That's dance, enjoy it. Somebody come in the house and say, what in the world are you in here doing? Just say, you can join me or you can sit down, but I gotta
okay.
Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So we are women. We are woman. We are womb of man. We are the conduit through which God manifests itself in flesh on this planet. Jesus wasn't the only one. The one they called Jesus couldn't have been Jesus in a way because the J didn't come into existence until the 15th century. So learn, study. Don't be afraid of this power that's in you. For God's sake, you bring life on earth. What's more powerful than that?
I know, right?
Yeah. So your power is your life force. Your life force is your Godhead. Your Godhead is your brain. Use it. Don't be afraid of it. Love it. When something beautiful comes into your life, don't be surprised. Expect it.
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
That's right. You earned it. You've done what you were supposed to be doing, and you get your reward.
Let me tell you about this doctor I went to. She's a naturopath. She put two rods. She had two rods. She put one rod in each hand. It's connected to a machine. If you can buy this, buy it. You can. I want to start a whole business. I want to try to get some money so I can get some. You can treat people with this. And the machine goes through your whole body and tells you what organs and what things need to be worked on.
Yeah.
Well, in the lower part on the far left first page, it said I was supposed to be dead. It said I died when I was in my early 30s. I said, how could that machine know that? But the machine doesn't know it. But what I learned was your body holds every experience that you have had. Every experience. I didn't know it could detect that. What happened to me, I was I'll tell y'all about the story another time, but a bomb was put in my apartment. I was in there when the bomb went off, but I got out. Now, how could that machine know that? Because the cells know everything. All your truths and all your lies are in these cells of yours. And the Jewish, I have a Hebrew book I've been studying Hebrew. And it says that the name of God is embossed on every cell in your body. Every cell, blood cell, tissue cell, all kind of cells. So they call it. Say what now? Oh, I know what you said. Yes, right.
I am.
That's right.
In whatever language.
They call it DNA.
Right.
They are the Legba people. They are the Sebek people. They think linearly. We think circumspectfully and linearly. That's what the word spiritual means, spiraling upward.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah, you got to know the language you're using. Learn the language. Break it down. Stop just taking words for granted. Break it down. The word independent. See, take that word. Oh, I'm done. Get it. Independent. See, but what does that mean? That means you are independent of something. You are independence. You're not dependent. You are independent. You're dependent on something. But they make you think independent means you're not dependent on something. But it's right in front of your face. Independence. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Wow. This language. Wow. Okay. And there are many words. We're gonna be here for a while, so maybe one show we'll do words and how to words. All right. And see what they really, really, really say. You know. Yeah. My mom gave me the name Myra. I didn't know what no Ra. I never heard of Ra, but that's my birth name, Myra Elizabeth. And when I got my African names, quote unquote, the king said to me, the names your parents gave you or give you or have given you are the names that come down from heaven to them for you, but they're not the names that you would have if you were in your original state, but they are close kin to them. So then he gave me the name Ayaba, Awoyemi. And my Ra, I said, well, Ra is light. And then in the source said, I learned that Ra is the spirit, light energy. My would be Meme, Mem, and Yod, or Yud, or Yud, depending on who's doing the speaking, which is like the hand of God or the pig that holds the window up, or that element that holds you up. So it means God holds me up. God holds up the spirit of myself. So when I got the name Ayaba Awoyemi, that means wife of the king, one to whom the mysteries of God are given. Then I got in Source Set, and it's in Torah Ma'at, which means my life is fulfilled through serving God. So, I mean, come on. It's consistent. So it doesn't matter. It does matter. But what I'm saying is, when you get these names, you see the consistency. You see your link to God. You see that eternal, forever, all-powerful link to this thing that people call God. I hate to use the word God in a way, but that's the word we know about. Because spelled backwards, as the last post says, dog. I don't want to use it. But nonetheless, Allah is Allah, front and back, all in all, all in all. And we are all in all. I am woman. I am the womb of man. I am the package that God put together for itself to remanifest on earth. And if we will just begin to rebirth in our minds the essence of what we really are, we are not human. That's what they say. They can't tell me what I am. Why? Because I'm how many more years older? You don't know. All you know is that you are older. Yeah, so it's like the dog following the tail. We won't do that no more. That time is over. We're now in the new elevation. The the end of the 25,000 year cycle is up. It's no more. The light force, the light of life is now entering this earth. And who bringing it? Raise your hand.
Me.
There you go. That's right. That's who's bringing it. And when we talk to oh man, that's for another program. But we're gonna learn about serving men, how to serve them, and I'm sure that Aduna will have a lot to contribute to that. Got it going on. But there's more to it than just being with somebody. If that was the case, then you wouldn't be with only, you don't be one person your whole life. But you're attracted to many people. The chemistry is what it's all about. The elements, as Queen Hawa and I talked about the other night. And we're going to do a program that Queen calls Mirror Mirror, the scale of my eye. And how many of y'all know people that have had joint surgery? All of this might seem different, but it's all connected to the same thing, your thoughts. Everybody having joint surgery, got knee replacement, got hip replacement. That wasn't the case when we were growing up. Like I told Howard, I said the most I was seen anybody with who was aged when I was growing up was a cane. That's it. So why so many people having joint surgery? Back to fear. Your knees and your skeletal system represent your foundation, the thing that holds you together. And when you think that you can't hold it on no longer, or you don't have enough resources, or you don't have enough friends, or you don't have enough of something, your knees start suffering, your low back suffers, your spine suffers, your shoulders suffer. Especially if you get mad with somebody, you want to punch them out, you're going to start having pains in your shoulder. You go to the doctor said you got bursitis or arthritis. The doctor said you have those spurs growing out. So you go to him and get surgery. I ain't go get no surgery. I went and drank orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice.
Fresh.
Pasteurized in the container orange juice. See, and a Jewish doctor told me that. He said, just squeeze 8 oranges every morning and do this wall exercise and run your shoulders up the wall. I don't have it no more. People who have, what is it called? Lord, I can't think of it now. But it's a disease condition that I call self-imprisonment. People who have diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, where they can't walk no more, they can't do hardly nothing, like my grandmother had. They say it comes from feeling guilty about something. So whenever I see anybody with rheumatoid arthritis or any kind of arthritis that they're immobile, first question I ask them, what you feeling guilty about? You need to let that go. Because I know it's true. See, I know through my grandmother's story that it's true. So we have work to do, sisters, and it's not just on ourselves, it's reaching out to our community so that we know ourselves and understand how this God force works through us to challenge us to become divine beings. If it were not so, we would not be speaking of this. When a baby is born divine. As it grows, it continues to be divine. But how does it maintain its divinity? Through nourishment of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
Be happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I know that I'm God. I just say, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever it is. Send it on.
That's what they say in your father, mother image. It's in your cell and your DNA too. And as you give your father all the kudos, but give yourself kudos too, because you are a God too. People are afraid to say that.
It's in the word. It's in the Bible. They won't teach it. Jesus taught it, but they won't teach it.
But
they won't teach you to look to Jesus.
You got the same bloodline. Am I not? You know?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. And I just want to say thank you, ladies. My name is Danielle. I've been on the whole time. I've just been getting ready for work. I feel like a little child sitting at the table listening to my grandparents, my grandmother speak. And I've learned that when I do that, I get the most confirmation and all the knowledge, without being interrupted. And I just wanted to say everything that you said is absolutely true. I'm actually working as a caregiver right now, but I am a Yoni Steam practitioner. am a sacred woman. I've worked with Queen Afua virtually for a year. I've worked with some local healers here and medicine women here and learned, some knowledge, period. And, my client right now is in the hospital. And I'm actually getting paid to actually work with her in the hospital, which is amazing and a divine order. I heard a doctor get on the elevator with her student and basically tell, hey, if a patient doesn't have insurance and they're homeless, I can't bill for their services. So they have to go and sit out, go back out on the street. And she was like, and what is the lesson? She's like, and what is the lesson learned? And the student couldn't answer. She was like, money rules everything. And I'm just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know that me personally, I know going to the doctor for me, I just go to get my numbers because right now you can't go anywhere to get your blood pressure. Well, I have a blood pressure cuff. I was told I have high blood, that I am diabetic. I realized I got diagnosed as being diabetic at 38. And when I told my aunt was like, oh, I got diagnosed at 38. Your mom got diagnosed at 38. I'm like, well, you know what? We're going to change this. I'm here to break generational curses.
There you go.
I'm like,
there you go.
I don't eat like everybody else. I don't, do certain things. And I'm working on actually reversing this, what they call it dis-ease, because it's definitely, I'm reversing
disease.
Period.
Right.
What is it? I am not one to believe in get into the whole COVID conspiracy, because I know this much. I caught it last year. Whatever it was, I caught it. I was pregnant at the time that I caught it, and my child actually took the brunt of that virus, which resulted in a miscarriage. So I'm like, it was something last year. It was something. I know the spiritual applications, and when I talk to my clients and talk to people, there's always a spiritual application of all diseases. There's the root cause of it all. And if you get to the emotional and the spiritual root of it all, in addition to cleansing with the food and everything, you can heal just about everything, period. And we see people do it. Now, it's a practice, it's a discipline. It's difficult only because we're not used to doing it. But once you get into the ritual of actually, healing the body and cleansing yourself, it becomes easier and easier. And the more I fast, the more my body actually starts craving natural, organic fruits and vegetables, and not the BS that we're so used to. And once again, it's just a discipline. Your body has to, it has to get used to the herbal medicine. And, I love what you guys said about the societies and everything, because I'm 40, and I swear to God, my generation is lost, especially when we get into the healing arts. We're lost because we don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't have anybody sitting here really teaching us. I love how you said how a man's supposed to, how to, love a woman, how a woman is supposed to love a man. We're not being taught that. So we're out here trying to figure this out. I know my act is active service. And I know my boyfriend complained he fell asleep on the couch with the window open the day before. He said, my throat hurts. I immediately went in the kitchen, grabbed my bag of elderberries, made some elderberry tea, put some honey in there, put some lemon in there. I was like, here, drink this. He didn't drink it immediately. He fell asleep. When I woke up the next morning, the cup was empty. He came to me yesterday. He's like, whatever tea you gave me yesterday, it worked. Thank you. Okay. That's the type of woman that I am. Okay. Something wrong, here's this ginger oil, here's this soap, we have to get back to our ancient arts, because this stuff works. It works.
Yes.
The doctors, the medicine, I love watching my client. I can only do so much. I mean, her sister is into natural healing. She's kind of skeptical, and I'm like, she's COPD. I so want to be like, here's this mullein tea. Will you just drink this tea? We can clear all this phlegm up if you just drink this tea. I did get her an inhaler. I went to an event in Toledo and met a Black doctor that was part of the team that created the Navage. What is it? Sinus cleaning system. And she has an all-natural inhaler that's nothing but pink salt and essential oils. So I got my client that. She started using it, and she's using that more so than her emergency inhaler because of all, so I try to sneak it in where I can fit in, but I'm just like, this was so amazing. I just had to get on and say thank you, because I'm sitting at you guys' feet. And every last person that you mentioned, from Payemba to Dr. Sabi to Dr. Layla Africa, to Dr. Queen of Four, I have all these books at home. I have Louisa's Hey, You Can Heal Your Life digitally on my phone. I have the hard copy at home. Wait. And I keep Sacred Woman digital on my phone and my iPad too. So if we need a quick resource, okay, I got you. I need to look something up. I keep these on me because you never know what you need when you need it. And, just a quick resource. But I absolutely love the two of you and the knowledge. I'm that granddaughter that is sitting there listening and applying it to everyday reality. So I just want to say thank you. And I'm like, it's so powerful, extremely powerful.
Well, we thank you. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for your comments, because we need to hear this. My young person had to go to work today, so she's not here. Hopefully she'll be with us on the next one. We do the actual one. And I have a whole slew of young sisters and, well, not brothers, but young sisters who hopefully will come to the table as well. What we're doing here is a reenactment of the Women's Society. Give thanks to Queen Mother Adoni. Reenactment of the Women's Society in our way, in the way that we have to use. I'm not lost for words. Just, I got so many words I want to say, I can't say them all at one time. So, Adoni, yes.
Yeah, I just want to throw this in the conversation before we leave. Is that one of the things when I recognize what's happening with my body is I go into forgiveness. And one, forgiving what has happened, but also I actually ask my body, this body, to forgive me for the choices that I have made that has brought it to this point.
Yeah.
So we want to include, when we
That's powerful.
That's very
That is
powerful.
powerful.
Yeah, you're thinking
Thank
about
you.
all this stuff that has happened in the past or whatever, but you only have the present. So I ask,
you froze.
Yeah, as we are going through the
Come
healing,
back.
yeah, then we can.
No.
Pam, Pam, where are you?
Did somebody else say something? Yes.
You're frozen.
Oh,
What you're saying, you can't hear.
oh, okay. How do I undo that?